What's up everybody and welcome back to a brand new Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links Leak video. In today's Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links Leak video, I'm going to be talking about all the other leaks that happened in our previous Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links update besides the new mini box. If you haven't checked out my video talking about the new mini box, pop it up in the top right corner over here. But today's video we're going to be discussing about some new IDs. There's going to be new skill IDs, new mat and sleeve IDs, and some new character IDs that we're going to be discussing about in today's video. I'm going to be talking about a bunch of cards that are not going to be added into the mini box or other miscellaneous cards that are not going to be added in that mini box. And last but not least, we're going to talk about some new Darkside or Carly information because a lot of her skills got leaked in this previous update. So I'm pretty excited to talk about today's leaks in today's video, and hopefully you guys are excited to watch this video. Be sure to show your support by smashing that like button on the video down below. And without further ado, let's get into today's Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links Leak video. There we go. Let's get into it. So the first thing that we're going to be talking about is this interesting thing right here, and this is a new IDs, and the IDs for getting skills via the lottery/trader has been found in the Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links game files. And this is extremely interesting to me because of the fact that when I first read this, I could have sworn that it meant that you can now get skills from the card trader, which would have been super cool because if there was ever like some event skills that we didn't get in the past, or if there's some new skills that Konami wanted to add, they could release it to us through the card trader. And at first that's what I thought it was, but since it specifically says lottery/trader, it sounds like to me that this is most likely something for either a upcoming Duelist Chronicles event, which we're going to be talking about a lot in today's video, but there's a potential that they're probably going to be adding skills into Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links that are unlockable only through the card lottery, which kind of sucks in some cases because that just adds even more RNG factor into trying to unlock skills. And the fact that you can grind the entire event, get a bunch of coins, spin the lottery, and never get the skill that you want would actually be kind of annoying right there. But I don't really know. To me, it first sounded like card trader, but I'm not too sure that it actually is card trader. It's probably for the lottery in certain events where you gain coins and then you can spin the lottery right there. So I don't really know, but it is cool that we're getting new availability for how to unlock skills in the game. But I think it would be really cool if we got skills through the card trader. So there's that right there. The next thing we're going to be talking about is some brand new character IDs added into the game. And now we have 4 different character IDs, and what I'm going to first talk about is the Earthbound Immortal Elissa, or however you pronounce the Earthbound Immortal that Carly uses. We're going to be talking about this one first because all this is indicating is the fact that during Carly's unlock event that we're going to be getting late August, this is just kind of confirming that's going to be pretty much exactly the same as the Darkside or Callan raid event that we got when we were able to unlock Callan during that event. So yeah, there's that new character ID right there. If you remember during the Darkside or Callan event, when you fought against him during the raid, you would see his Earthbound Immortal behind the duel field, and his name would be Earthbound Immortal Apakapu instead of Callan Kessler or Darkside or Callan during that thing. So it's cool that we got the Earthbound Immortal right there. It's just symbolizing or telling us that Darkside or Carly's unlock event is going to be exactly the same as the Darkside or Callan event, which I'm all for it because I actually really like the Darkside or Callan raid event. It was a ton of fun to play. Probably one of the few events that I really enjoyed, so that's awesome to hear right there. Now let's go talk about the other 3 ones, because all 3 of these other characters are indicating to me that we're probably going to be getting a Duelist Chronicles GX event for Season 3 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Or you have Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, there we go. So first things first, we have Cyrus Truesdale right here, maybe Blue Obelisk. So there's 2 things that this new Cyrus Truesdale character ID could be. If I remember correctly, during Season 3, during the Supreme King arc, Cyrus was not wearing any of his Academy clothes, and part of the event he was wearing this kind of like, I'm trying to remember correctly on top of my head, but it's like some robe looking thing, and I remember him wearing that. Also, during Season 3 of the GX, he did become an Obelisk Blue student, and then in the entirety of Season 4 of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, he was a Blue Obelisk for the entirety of that. So it's either Blue Obelisk, Cyrus Truesdale, or it's his like little outfit that he wore during the Supreme King arc for that little bit right there. So that's pretty cool. Next up, we have Azur, Knight of the Dark World, and Baron Mad King of the Dark World. These were both, so they're both cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, and actually the background of this segment of the leak video, it actually has one of these, Dark World cards in the background, but actually, these Dark World cards were as characters in the show during the Supreme King arc. So this is just symbolizing to me that we're going to be getting a Supreme King Duelist Chronicles GX, or just Season 3 of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX as a Duelist Chronicle event in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, which is super cool. Very curious on how they're going to do it. Maybe they'll showcase some sort of Supreme King Jaden. That would be pretty interesting, but that's kind of it for the character IDs. Definitely symbolizing to me that we're going to be getting a GX Duelist Chronicles very soon. That's brand new. Last but not least, we're going to be talking about some new mat sleeves IDs. Now, a lot of these mat sleeves that are in this little leak batch right here are actually already in the game. It's due to me not being able to record this leak video a lot earlier for you guys. Some of these card sleeves are already in the game, like the animated game mat Red Eyes, Simple Card Metallic Blue, and Simple Card sleeves Red and Black are all in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links right now, but there's still a couple things to talk about that are very important. First things first, we have a DSOD edition anniversary mat and sleeve, and this is very interesting to talk about because DSOD means for Darkside of Dimensions, paying homage to the movie Darkside of Dimensions. So this is most likely symbolizing that potentially, it's like, I'm like 95% sure that the new world that we're going to be getting in late September is going to be a Darkside of Dimensions world, which is pretty cool. I think it's going to be pretty cool to be able to unlock some of the Darkside Dimension exclusive characters from that into Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links, and I'm not surprised either. I know it's Brad HD was talking about a lot that he doesn't think that Zexal World will be a thing for the late September, and he thinks that synchro summoning should be dragged out for 2 years instead of only being around for 1 year, and then they add a whole new summoning mechanic into the game. For the longest time, I thought it was Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, but considering that we have a new mat and sleeves for DSOD, is most likely symbolizing that, yeah, Konami wants to drag out synchro summoning for another year, which is understandable, and we're probably going to get Darkside Dimension in late September, so that's pretty cool right there. I would have been happy with Zexal, but I'll take this. I think Darkside Dimensions will be a nice touch, but I don't think it would be as hype as compared to Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's World. Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's World hype was pretty nice, but there's that right there. Next up, we have a couple other things that are not as important as that DSOD edition anniversary one. We have some sleeves at the end, or mat sleeves at the end of this. Destiny decided Darkside or Carly Carmine, and we have Turbo Duel Darkside or Carly Carmine. Got my words mixed up right there, but those are just going to be for the Carly Carmine event that we're going to be getting when, you know, she gets added to Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. And then we also have a mission circuit thing not paying homage, but, you know, just we're gonna get a new man sleeve for the mission circuit event that's gonna be coming back sometime in August. So that's pretty cool right here. Very interesting things to talk about, that's for sure. Let's go move on to the next segment of today's leak video. The next segment in today's video, we're going to be talking about some new cards that got added into the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links game files that are not going to be for the upcoming mini box. And the first three cards we're going to be talking about are cards that are not confirmed for anything so far. They're just in the game's files and most likely either going to get added to the card trader, either going to get added in either a Duelathon event, mission circuit event, whatever the case may be. These are just some miscellaneous cards that will eventually get added to the game. And the first card we're going to talk about is one that's actually pretty cool in my opinion. So this card is called Pyrotech Mech Shinru. I don't know how to pronounce that. I can't read. I'm a kindergartner. Leave me alone. But this is a fire 8-star pyro effect monster. You can normal summon this card with 1 tribute. If summoned this way during each end phase, you can take 1,000 damage. If this card attacks a defense mission monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. This card has a solid 2,900 attack and 1,800 defense. The first thing that I thought of when reading this card is that this card should go into Hazy Flame. I think Hazy Flame could definitely use a card like this for multiple reasons. First things first, as you guys know, Hazy Flame is a very tribute-centric deck, and already you're already going to be running cards in your Hazy Flame deck that are going to be available for tributing. So like Dietherium or Diantrum, mispronounce that card, some of the Fire Vassals, stuff like that in the game. So the fact that this card can be summoned right away with 1 tribute for a normal summon, that's pretty good so far. Also, since it is a fire attribute monster, you can actually special summon this through Hazy Flame Sphinx and ignore that secondary effect. So since you special summon this card through Hazy Flame Sphinx, you don't have to worry about taking 1,000 damage each on your end phases. So that's really nice right here. It's going to be a solid monster to combo with Beatdown. It has piercing potential, which is also really nice, and overall I think this card's going to mix really well with Hazy Flame, so I'm definitely excited to try out this card when it comes into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, so add it soon, Konami. Next card we're going to be talking about is, in my opinion, a resident sleeper type of card. This is Ally Justice Core Destroyer. It's a 3-star Dark Machine effect monster. If this card attacks or is attacked by a light monster, destroy that monster at the start of the damage step without damage calculation. 1,200 attack, 200 defense. Maybe this card is a good card, but I don't play Ally Justice, and all the other Ally Justice cards pretty much do the exact same thing as this card, except that they have more effects. I think the only benefit to this card is the fact that it is a 4-star or lower monster that you can summon pretty easily for your Ally Justice deck, but I'm resident sleeping on this card. Maybe it's good and I don't know it, but I'm resident sleeping on this card. But here you go. We got a new Ally Justice card. Very epic. Last but not least, we're going to talk about this card where I cannot pronounce that first part of its name, but this is called the Worm Warrior, which is a Earth 4-star insect effect monster. It cannot be normal summon / set. Must be special summoned by banishing 1 insect monster from your graveyard and cannot be special summoned by other ways. And this card inflicts battle damage to your opponents in the top card of their deck to the graveyard. 1900 attack, 400 defense. It's an alright card. It's very similar to the Rock Warrior, if I remember that card's name correctly, where it's a 4-star rock monster. You banish a rock monster from your graveyard to the banish zone, and then you can special summon the Rock Warrior with 1900 attack. So it's exactly the same as this one, except for the Worm Warrior is that it's an insect type monster. I mean, it's 1900 attack, which is pretty nice. You can combo it with your other insect stuff, and I think some insect cards are able to be summoned through 1 tribute of a monster anyways. So yeah, I think it's a decent card for insects, but nothing too crazy. But hey, it's a special summonable insect, which is not bad at all, so that's pretty cool. The last 2 cards we're we're going to be talking about in this card segment part of the video is 2 cards that are going to be added in the September ranked season rewards. First one we're going to be talking about is this one called Vylon Spear, and it is an SR card that you're going to be able to get once the September ranked PP rolls around. This is a 1-star light machine tuner effect monster. If this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard, you can pay 500 light points to target one face of monster you control. Equip this card to that target. You can send this equip card to the graveyard to target one equip card or equip spell card in your graveyard. Equip that target to the monster this card was equipped to. It has 400 attack, 400 defense, and this card is a doozy, but what I can gather, I think this card is actually somewhat decent for Vylons if you want to kind of extend your plays. Now, I don't play Vylons in Duel Links. I really do not. This is an archetype that keeps getting cards added, every couple months or so, and it keeps getting one-of cards here and there. But what I could tell was kind of cool about this Vylon Spear is I feel like it is a combo extender. So, for example, even though I don't play Vylons, for example, I feel like you have, like, I don't know, a 6-star Vylon Synchro monster on the field, and you have an equipped spell equipped to that 6-star Vylon monster on the field. You want to go into a 7-star Synchro Vylon monster, you normal summon your Vylon Spear, you go for the Synchro summon to summon into a 7-star Vylon Synchro monster, use this card's effect to equip it to the new 7-star Synchro Vylon monster, and then you use Vylon Spear's effect to then equip your spell card that you sent to the graveyard into your new Vylon boss monster. So I feel like that this is just a great way to kind of extend your plays, get a better Vylon monster onto the field, and then you can reuse your equipped spell that you had equipped to your previous Vylon monster onto your new one. So I kind of see why this card is for the deck. That's just my hunch on why this is getting added, but it's still a neat card. You can trigger its effect by multiple ways, by getting used for Synchro Summon, getting destroyed by battle, getting destroyed by a card effect. You can trigger that to equip it to some monsters, so there's still some versatility right there. But that's just the first example that I thought of in my head, even though I don't play Vylon, so there you go right there. Last but not least, when it comes to the other ranked PvP ticket reward, we got a UR Vylon Omega, which is a light 10-star fairy synchro effect monster. It takes 2 tuners plus 1 or more non-tuner Vylon monster. When this card is synchro summoned, destroy all face-up monsters that were normal summon / set. Once per turn, you can target a Vylon monster in your graveyard, equip that target to this card. During the other player's turn, when a monster effect activates, you can send one equipped card equipped to this card to the graveyard. Negate the activation if you do destroy that monster. This card has 3,200 attack and 1,900 defense points right there. Now, I feel like that this card, yeah, it's good, but by the time you summon a card like this, you're pretty much already winning at this point. One thing that I don't like about this, though, is that it does take 2 tuners. I guess if you really want to, you can probably try to figure out some synergy between Crystron and Vylons to easily summon into this card. Use the Crystron engine to special summon 2 Crystron tuners, and then get a big beefy or a big level Vylon non-tuner monster to synchro summon into Vylon Omega. But like I said, it's like by the point that you're able to do something like this, I feel like you already have an advantage against your opponent. Now, it is okay that when this card synchro summon, you destroy all face of monsters that are normal summon or set. That's an okay effect, but you got to remember too that a lot of the top decks in this game utilize cards that are special summoned, so that effect is kind of useless in my opinion in a lot of cases. So kind of a shrug right there. Once per turn, you can target a Vylon monster in your graveyard, equip that target to this card. That's not bad. During each player's turn, when a monster effect activates, you can send an equipped card equipped to this card to the graveyard, negate the activation to destroy a monster. That's also pretty good. That's probably the last 2 effects are probably the best, because you can keep recycling equipped spells for Vylon Omega, and you can keep negating your opponent's monsters with Vylon Omega. It's just its first effect is good, but since it doesn't kill out special summon monsters, it's kind of useless in my opinion. So there's that right there. Big beefy monster, 3,200 attack, but like I said, since it is such a high level monster and it's somewhat difficult to summon into, by the point you summon this card, you probably have already won, and you probably could have won the duel without summoning this card. But it's a cool card nonetheless. I feel like it does deserve that UR rarity, but not like a box UR rarity. It's a solid UR card that you can get from a ranked PvP ticket. So there you go, Vylon Omega, not bad. Now for the final part of this video, we're going to be talking about some skills that got leaked in this new update that we got previously in Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links. And the first thing we're going to talk about is some non-Darkside or Darkside or Carly skills. These 2 skills got added into the game, the Gates of the Dark World and Advanced Dark. They both have no description, but my educated guess is going to be that these are going to be for the GX Chronicles event that we're potentially going to be getting in the next couple of months, and they're probably going to be used with those Dark World characters that were added into the game through character IDs. So that's what I'm guessing these are for, so there's that right there. Now we're going to be talking about some Darkside or Carly skills that are very interesting, and while I'm not a player that, plays Fortune Ladies, there was never a deck that I played in the TCG, I am very interested in these skills. skills, and I am looking forward to being able to unlock Darkside or Carly in Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links and trying out Fortune Ladies when they get added to the game. First skill we're going to be talking about is this card called Future Fortune. As long as you control 2 or more Fortune Lady monsters, you can view the top card on both players' decks, and this skill is not too bad in my opinion. So the big handicap with this skill is definitely the fact that you have to control 2 or more Fortune Lady monsters, because that some cases could be pretty difficult. Like I said, I never played Fortune Ladies before, and that's why I'm looking forward to trying them out when they get added into Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links, but since I'm not familiar with the archetype, I don't remember if you can easily get a bunch of them on the board, but if you can, then yeah, this skill will be pretty good. What's also nice about this skill is that it is a passive skill. It's not a once per duel type of skill, so when you have 2 Fortune Ladies on the field, Future Fortune will just trigger right away, and you know what your next card your opponent's going to get, and you know what card you're going to get very soon. And I think having the knowledge of knowing what card your opponent's going to get on their next turn is very valuable right there. So if Fortune Ladies are really good at Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links, I think Future Fortune can definitely be a very good card for the game, so you just know what cards you have to worry for when your opponent's about to draw into them. So like for example, the next card your opponent draws into is a Wall of Disruption. You'll know that you got to watch out from a Wall of Disruption throughout the rest of the duel. So I think Future Fortune has a potential to be a very good skill in the game, as long as Fortune Ladies can easily keep themselves on the field and summon themselves very easily to utilize the skill at max capacity. Next up, we're going to be talking about this skill called Future Visions. Can be used after your life points decrease by 1500. Play 1 Future Visions from outside of your deck. This skill will only activate if you begin the duel with a deck that has 5 or more Fortune Lady monsters with different names. So that's kind of interesting right there, and to give full context to the potential of the skill, we're going to be talking about Future Visions, which at least I recognize this card because I remember going against Carly in video games using this Future Visions card. It's very annoying, and also she used this card in the anime. It was one of the first cards she used when she became a Darksider. So Future Visions is really good. It's a field spell card. When a monster is normal summon, remove from play that monster. During the next standby phase of the controller who summoned that monster, return it to the field in face-up attack position. If you're utilizing your Fortune Lady deck to synergize with Future Fusions, you're going to have the full advantage right there, because you know how you're going to want to play around with this field spell to give you advantage, and you can stop your opponent from really going into combos that they needed to summon their monsters. Sure, we have a lot of ways to special summon a Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links, so I don't think Future Visions will be that broken, but at the same time, there's a lot of decks that really need to get the combo going by normal summoning a monster in the first place, so dealing with Future Visions is definitely going to be very annoying in my opinion right there. But it's a cool card. Since it sounds like it's going to be locked behind the skill, I don't think that this card will be very broken in Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links. I think it will be broken if we can obtain 2 to 3 copies of the card itself and put it in our deck. That's when it would get pretty annoying, but if it's locked behind the skill, I think we'll be fine, and I think this skill won't be that, or don't think Future Visions will be that annoying, because the only way you're going to be able to activate it is if you lose 1500 life points. Not 1000 life points, you need to do 1500 life points to lose to activate the skill, and you need to have 5 or more Fortune Lady monsters with different names, so there's that too. So you got to run some of the crappy Fortune Ladies if you even want to run this skill. So I think it's a good way to balance this card, because I think if this card was easily accessible, this card would be super annoying to deal with. But yeah, Future Vision is not that bad of a skill. Next skill we're going to be talking about right here is Fortune Overclock. Select 1 Fortune Lady monster you control. That monster's level becomes equal to the current turn count maximum of 12. At the end of the turn, the monster's level becomes equal to its original level. This skill can only use once per duel. Now, thanks to this skill, it kind of reminded me basically a little bit from what I did know about Fortune Ladies, and from what I remember about Fortune Ladies, they gained attack equal, or not equal, they gain attack multiplied by their level. So the card tech, or one of the Fortune Ladies texts would say, the attack of this monster is like 300 times the amount of levels that it had. So if it was a 3-star Fortune Lady monster, and its effect said that it would gain 300 attack for each level, it would get 900 attack when it gets summoned on the field. And what Fortune Ladies do is that they change the level of themselves so that they can keep gaining attack and trigger other effects and all that stuff right here. So a skill like Fortune Overclock can definitely be very helpful, especially late game, because you can target one of your weaker Fortune Lady monsters that is not getting that much attack. You can play Fortune Overclock to give it a little bit of a boost, and then you can basically go and win against your opponent, which is pretty helpful right there. So I think this skill can definitely be useful. It does suck that you do have to rely on how late in the game is. Like, using Fortune Overclock is not going to be that useful at all early game, but I feel like late game, like, you know, turn 5, 6, 7, 8, I feel like this skill can be very beneficial to you. Gotta remember though, this is only used once per duel, but I think it's still helpful. Last but not least, we're going to talk about this one skill that I'm kind of a mixed opinion on. I think this is probably the worst one out of them all, but like I said, I don't play Fortune Ladies, so maybe I'm missing something about this, but this card is called Fortune Telling. Select 1 Fortune Lady monster you control and excavate the top card of your deck. If the excavated monster, if the excavated card is a monster, the selected Fortune Lady monster's level increases by the level of the excavated monster. Then return the excavated card to the top of your deck. This skill can only be used once per turn and twice per duel. I don't like this skill because it's very RNG based, and also the fact that if you don't like the card that you just excavated, you're not going to be able to switch it to the bottom of your deck. I feel like this skill would have been super good if you can basically flip open your excavated card, be like, oh, it's a monster, let me boost up my Fortune Lady card, and if it's a card that I don't like, I'll throw it to the bottom of my deck. I feel like then fortune telling will be very good, but since it's a very RNG based skill, you need to top deck, or you need to excavate a monster in order to use its effect to change the level of your Fortune Lady monster. I don't think this card or this skill is going to be that good. I feel like this is going to be some sort of level up skill that we're going to be able to get once Darkside Undercard becomes unlockable in Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links. But it's an okay skill, but not as good as some of the other ones that we talked about in this video right here. But hey, it's a skill that you can definitely use nonetheless. And like I said, I could be potentially missing something because I do not play Fortune Ladies. It's not a deck that I know of, but I'm excited to try it out when it comes into Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links when Darkside Undercard comes at the end of August. So that's pretty cool right there. Well, that's going to be it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching today's Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links Leak video. I'm so sorry that this video got out way too late. I was hoping that this video would come out so much earlier than the time that you're going to be watching this right now. I've been very busy with a lot of things and dealing with a lot of things that are just out of my control to record this video properly, so I'm very sorry about that. Still, if you watch to the end of this video and you haven't already, be sure to go smash the like button on the video down below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new for more Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links content, and I think it's going to be about me. Thank you so much for watching today's Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links video, and I'll go see you guys in the next Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links video. Peace out, everybody.